Well, I seem to be in the computer video making sort of mode, so why don't we talk about this Dell again, the Dell 2350. I've just been playing around with this thing for past week or so, and you noticed I put an LCD monitor on it to replace the CRT monitor here. This CRT monitor is probably going to remain a test monitor for computer work. These monitors are very good for that. I like that ViewSonic, but it uses a lot of power, and we're trying to save power here in this house because of the electricity going up, as I mentioned in the previous video about the net top. But anyhow, I decided that Windows isn't exactly the best performer on this machine. XP does very well, and 2000 does even better, but they're getting a little long in the tooth for me. I mean, I want to keep this machine secure because when I look things up, I don't want my account stolen or anything like that. And this is going to be a workshop computer once we get that other part of the workshop built, which I am very thankful for my dad for doing. But I kind of have a little redneck setup here. It's kind of funny. I turned this tower computer on its side. Blasphemy. Put this 15.6-inch Acer X163WL onto it, which is VGA only, of course. I have the People PC keyboard, which has People PC and Ford Motor Company written on it, but is made by HP. And apparently it is designed for Windows 2098. Oh well, I'm using it with Linux. And that's what's on this computer. I, of course, have this Dell mouse I got at the thrift store for like $1 with the patriotic mouse pad that's kind of worn. So what I've done is I've plugged in the 40GB Western Digital drive and used that for Linux because you don't need much hard drive space to run Linux, since it's not such a space hog like Windows can be. Oh dear, it appears that a footer has fallen off of my mooper. That is sad. I'll have to... yeah, I might have to re-glue that. Some things have fallen behind here that I need to bring back up, like this webcam that I need to move, and of course the microphone. So on this machine, I have a Microsoft LifeCam. I believe it's a VX3000. It's a 640 by 480 webcam. It does pretty well. I've had it for a couple years. Very nice webcam though. The picture quality is pretty good. The lighting, the quality of the lighting, the ability of the lighting on this thing is pretty crap. It has manual focus though, which I really like, and the call button, which is next to useless. Now, why is this on a workshop computer? To some of my friends, I do like to Ustream my repairs, just so they can see what I'm doing, just for the fun of it. I don't know if you guys want to see that or not, but you know, I haven't really set up a Ustream YouTube sort of a deal thing, so don't count on it. For a microphone, I have this dinky little Apple microphone that I've mentioned in previous videos that V Westlife told me came with early 90s Power Macs, so you know, that's good to know. These mics are incredible. They have extremely good sound for how dinky and tiny they are. For speakers, I'm using an iPod dock. The Altec Lansing iPod dock with the aux port in the back. And because I could not find the original power brick, I'm using the power brick off of an NES-2, which is the top loader Nintendo, which I need to plug into the Squiddy here. Some of the best power strips ever are these Squiddies. I love these things. I call them Squiddies because they look like a squid. All right. Anyhow, let's boot this computer up and show you what I've put on here. Let me turn the speakers on here and turn the volume up. So you'll be able to hear how loud you'll hear. I mentioned in the other video about this thing that the spindle in the 40 gig hard drive is quite loud. You'll notice it as I turn this on. Remember those old drives that used to do that? Oh yeah. And there you go. I have OpenSUSE 11.4, which is kernel 2.6.37.6-0.5. OpenSUSE runs the best on this machine, by far, out of any other Linux distribution, because it supports the onboard Intel graphics the best out of any of them. Like the NetTop, I've had problems with onboard graphics on this machine, and Linux not liking them. Ubuntu 10.04 likes to freeze randomly, or just or X just crashes, or the graphics just go completely when I'm using it. Ubuntu 10.10, I can't adjust the resolution or hertz of the monitor properly. Same is the case with Ubuntu 11.04 or Linux Mint 11. The one, I was able to adjust it in Debian, but Debian does not like this computer much either, because the newer Intel drivers in the Linux kernel, in the newer kernels anyway, are quite broken for these old chipsets. So luckily they have Linux distros that still do releases instead of rolling release, where I can stay at this particular kernel that I know works, and it will boot. Now I've installed this with the desktop environment LXDE, which is very good for these older machines. It's extremely light and barely uses any resources. I like XFCE on systems that can handle it, though, as far as the desktop environment goes normally. So there you go, it starts up. See the hard drive chunking away there. And the nice thing about OpenSUSE with older machines is if you have an i586 based processor, you can put OpenSUSE on it and it will work. So this is the login manager that LXDE uses. It's quite simple. I mean, it's got that Windows 2000 type of menu thing. So we'll go in there, roll this keyboard, and then it'll log into LXDE fairly fast. I mean, it takes a while to load it, but there you have it. I formatted the hard drive as ext3 rather than ext4 because ext3 is a lot friendlier to IDE hard drives and slower hard drives in general. And there you go. The desktop environment's loaded. It's very simple. You get your taskbar down here. This is LXDE more than OpenSUSE, but you get two desktops here. You can say so right there. Two desktop workspaces. There's a button down here to iconify all the windows. I don't know what that does. That's the file manager, which is PCman FM in LXDE, but you can install another one such as Nautilus or Thunar if you so desire. Over here I got a clipboard utility. I've got the volume control, which I should probably turn all the way up. Got the clock, and which is 24-hour, and of course the logout button. So what are we going to do? I've installed a lot of stuff on here. I've gone into Yast and added repositories for certain pieces of software. So what do I have on here? I've got, in the accessories, I've got an application called Beaver that I probably won't use. I have Gedit in here for editing text files. Gedit is awesome on Linux. I absolutely love it. One thing about OpenSUSE that kind of bothers me is they don't install Nano, the text editor Nano by default, so I had to install that so that I could do command line editing properly. I have Cheese on here, GIMP, which is basically open source Photoshop CS2, which I absolutely love. Xane, NT Paint. What is this? I guess they tried to make something similar to Microsoft Paint, but it's a little not quite the same. So why don't we open up Cheese and see if the webcam works? The lights lighten up. And there, you can see me taking a video through the webcam, and it's quite, as you can see, it's got quite a bit of noise in it, and there's a red tint to it, but it does get the job done. It kind of does get the job done, so to speak, but what can you do? Hell, I'll take a picture of myself just for the fun of it. I'm sure you heard the snap sound. It's very much like Photo Booth for Mac is, except that the video portion of it is garbage. It doesn't work very well. I'm sure you heard that little camera shutter noise out of the speakers there. I'll show you GIMP. Start GIMP up. GIMP is pretty much Photoshop CS2. Now, some people complain that the controls aren't the same, but that's because it's open source and it's different, and it's not Photoshop. It does the same things that Photoshop does, but it's not, you know, the same exact thing. I mean, you get your palette of tools here and all that kind of stuff, but you know, you gotta give it some slack. I mean, on here I have AbiWord, GNumeric, and ePDF Viewer. AbiWord is a very lightweight text editor, very similar to Microsoft Word. Reminds me of Word 2000. Just look at it. So I just type in a bunch of random crap on the keyboard, and it seems to keep up just fine. And there you have it. You get a plethora of fonts, and look how AbiWord actually lets you see the font in huge letters like that. That's awesome. AbiWord's definitely a great text editor. I might have to install LibreOffice later, just so I can do things like, let's say, look at PowerPoint presentations. Now on here I've got quite a plethora of things in the sound and video category, which would be Audacity, Brasero for burning CDs, Flash Player, standalone player anyway, Gmixer, GNOME player, Minitube, Mirror Music and Video Player, Music Player Totem, VLC. VLC is required on every computer ever made. Okay, so we can look at Audacity and see if the microphone here records, or see which microphone it will use, so to speak. And there goes Audacity. So we'll full screen that. And here we go. Okay, this is just a test to see which microphone is working or not working. Looks like the microphone is not working. I probably have to go into Awesome Mixer and adjust that, but I'm not going to bore you with that on video, so yeah. It'll work, but I just don't feel like doing it right now. Now for YouTube viewing without Flash, I can use Minitube or Miro. Minitube has an interesting problem. Minitube seems to wash the video out on this particular version. I'm guessing that's why there's an update available. So let's type in a channel, RetroChad. RetroChad. So we'll type in RetroChad, and click Watch. And here we have a video of a radio. See how washed out that is? Let's full screen it. Look how washed out the video is on Minitube. I cannot explain why. I believe that's why there's an update to Minitube. I might have to look into finding a repository that has an updated version of that. But then you go to something like stop it, mouse. Go to Miro, which kind of it's a search application that lets you watch videos and certain things and stuff. Now Miro it seems to take a while on this computer sometimes just because it's so old. Afrikaans. English, of course. I don't want to run Miro at startup. I don't want it to search my computer because it has nothing on it. Now this program can, its sources, it can look on YouTube, PBS, uTorrent, Clearbits, and various other sources. So it can actually stream BitTorrent videos, which is very unique for a well, a video search engine, or a video entertainment search engine. Now, I just clicked on video search, and it's taking its sweet time to load stuff. There we go. Okay, let's search somebody else. How about UXW Bill? So it'll search for videos, and this one acts a little bit differently than Minitube does. It doesn't wash out the video as much, and you download each video to watch it. So you download it before you watch it, which is a little annoying to me sometimes, but it's not a big deal. Let's download. Let's download some potato salad. And it downloads it in a .mp4 format. And we can check the video here. The download progress. It's downloading it fairly fast. Not too fast, but fairly fast, 65 megabytes. So this is nice if you just want to download a bunch of YouTube videos and watch them later on. the videos have expiration dates, so they can go away. As you can see, I don't have much space on the disk, 30 gigabytes, but, you know, I'll come back when this video is a little bit more loaded. Okay, we're back with that video actually done being downloaded now, so we can take a look at the performance. And here we go. Let's watch some potato salad.
And what a great patriotic day that is for the nation. And what better food to fix?
It still looks washed out to me, and I cannot figure out why.
American potato salad.
The camera might be making up for it, but it's quite washed out on the monitor.
Because we're going to incorporate all fresh things from the garden.
And she's there. She's definitely there. Anyhow, let's actually check the performance within a browser itself. Now, where the hell did I put Firefox? There it is. This is Firefox first time running. It's Firefox version 5, I believe. Yep, version 5. I have no add-ons in it, and I really need to put add-ons in here, so just a second. Okay, I've installed the add-ons that I wish, and I will restart Firefox, and we'll watch it explode with tabs once it loads all the add-ons. Tabs, 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 ah! I use download status bar, so it actually shows like downloads at the bottom of the screen here rather than its own separate window, which I think is nicer because everything's kind of together. Down the Mall is a great download accelerator if you have an extremely slow mirror or something. Adblock is required on every computer I use, so that there's just no extra crap that makes the browser perform like shit. I also installed Netcraft Toolbar. It's an anti-phishing toolbar. If you don't know about Netcraft, go to their website. You can actually look up tons of websites on there. And it has a risk rating bar too, which is kind of nice. But anyhow, let's go to YouTube. Takes me a while to type with one hand. I usually touch type. Alright, we'll go to UXWBill again and look at the same video in Flash just to show you the difference as far as the washed out things go. Now, where's that potato salad? There it is. Okay. And now we full screen the video. Put it.
Well, here we are. It's the 4th of July.
It's quite a bit louder.
And what a great patriotic day.
It's pretty choppy on 480p, but once the flash stuff goes away, it's okay, but not great, as you can see. 360p is usually where it performs the best with Flash on here, but it performs better on OpenSUSE than any other distribution, which is nice. Video tears quite a lot, so let's put it on 240p and see how it performs that way.
We've got some fresh cucumbers.
Performs the best on 240p, although there's so much pixelation on this monitor that it looks like crap.
And some onion.
I better stop that video before y'all get too hungry. But yeah, that's part of the reason I use separate programs to look at YouTube videos. But they seem to do weird things with washing out of videos. I don't understand that. But there you have it. I forgot to mention the internet category. I have Clawsmail, Dropbox, Empathy I need to remove because that's absolute garbage of software. Firefox for web browser. Pigeon for instant messaging. I don't use the terminal server client, but it's there. Transmission for BitTorrent. Downloads such as Linux distributions and other illegal things that you shouldn't be downloading. XChat for IRC, and AMSN as an MSN replacement, in case I need to actually really receive files from somebody over MSN. But there you go, that's the Linux setup on this Dell 2350 that performs very adequately well, apart from Flash, but that's because Flash on Linux is a little bit derp. And apparently I have software update. I have 2 updates available, so this is how the updates work on OpenSUSE. It's literally just a software update manager, and it refreshes the software list. OpenSUSE is RPM based, so it's very much like SUSE Enterprise Linux. So all it's going to update here is the release of OpenSUSE and the Java runtime environment. The nice thing about OpenSUSE is it's i586, so you can run it on processors that aren't yet 686 if you so desire. There are a lot of updates, actually. Damn. A lot of dependency updates, anyway. Additional confirmation required. Continue. And that, of course, needs my root password. Ah. Then I authenticate. It'll check for what's using right now, and then it'll download each package and then install it. Much better than Fedora's does, I'll tell you that. OpenSUSE, for RPM distributions, OpenSUSE every single time. Because you can really make it do what you want. Even though it's a pain in the ass, you can make it do what you want. Anyhow, that's just a video of Linux running on this system, and OpenSUSE 11.4 runs very well on here. I'm very happy with it. So if you guys are, if you guys have some older Dells or old computers lying around that that Linux just does not like the video on, try OpenSUSE on it. Whether that's 11.3 or 11.4, it might actually like the video. Chipsets on it. So yeah, that's about it for this, because this is another long video. So yeah, have a good one, everybody. Ciao.